our fossil fuel is getting low. So where do we get the energy to go as a people? It's a challenge which we realized it a few years back. Our Prime Minister has given aspirational targets. First, in terms of 2022, 175 gigawatt. We are 121 gigawatt as of now, hoping to add another 20 gigawatt this year. And of course, by 2030, 500 gigawatts. So it's a huge, huge target he has set. Probably he knows it very clearly that this is required for our growth. But then it's not that easy, and it's not the right way to add capacity as well. So what is it that we need to look at? We will look only at Odisha at this point in time. If you look at Odisha, the way we consume power, we have a load curve of a 24 hours duration. We have a summer curve, we have a winter curve. So if you look at our summer curve, as we passed by April, May and June, our peak power consumption, which was 5,100 megawatt, was anywhere around 4,700 between say 12 to 1 p.m. up to 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. And it was almost 5,100 megawatt at 10:45 in the night to 12, 1, 2 in the evening. That means our peak power in Odisha, especially in the central part and other parts, is happening in the night time. And to ensure that we reach that peak power, we need to generate hydro. We need to see all our thermal power methods. Now, renewable generates power only during the daytime, especially the solar power. Wind does it. But renewable is solar is taking a higher capacity as we see, and a lot of growth is happening in the solar side. If our consumption is high in the night, we know the reason. Why? Because we are prospering, we use air conditioners, and we switch on the air conditioners at 10 o'clock because the heat is not on. And obviously, compared to the older generations where my parents are still at home, they use only the fan. They don't switch on the AC. Although I have kept an AC there, they don't switch on the AC. But I can't live without an AC. So I switch on the AC. All of us do that. So everyone switching on the AC, what happens? The peak power is shooting at night time. Same is happening in Delhi as well. And Delhi alone consumes 7,400 megawatt, much higher than entire Delhi at this point of time. So this air conditioning, if you look at India today, our consumption of air conditioning in the entire country is only 7%. The consumption of AC in US is 90%. Consumption of AC in China is 60%. Obviously at 7% there is huge scope to grow. Everyone would like to have a comfortable life and environment. So obviously this air conditioning load will grow. Odisha's peak load will grow, country's peak load will grow, and the demand will grow exactly in the night time when you actually do not have the solar energy. So it's important to understand this aspect as well. While we want to grow, while we want to see that our growth is tenable through renewable energy, especially through solar, because we are a country with tropical climate and we have enough solar radiation happening, it still may not match the way we consume power. And in a time when we have all realized global warming is a reality, climate change is a reality. So obviously we need to conserve energy, we need to see how do we also shift our way we consume. So when we look at this aspect, it's important that we modulate the way we consume, and that behavior cannot be changed just in time. So the country as such has got a DSM program, demand side management program, in which various steps are being taken. But it's important to understand and analyze how do we look at this peak and flatten it. So to flatten it, one way to do this, put a special tariff in the night and the lower tariff in the time when you are not actually consuming, say the early morning hours, 6 to 10, etc. So some of them would actually shift a little bit. So tariff structuring today, between 10 to 6 in Odisha, you have your tariff which is at a lower side, and your peak tariff is between morning 6 to evening 10. So that itself has to be changed. The other way is to get on to energy efficient equipments, which Mr. Swail was sharing in his initial speech. An energy efficient equipment, many people think it is actually expensive. I don't know how many of you know that we sell air conditioners. Tata Power Central Odisha sells air conditioners. We go to our customer care center, we sell it cheaper by 40%. And when you actually consume it, your energy consumption also is cheaper by 40%. So this is our air conditioners. We have fans as well, which also has an efficiency which is so high that it consumes less power by 40%. So energy efficient equipments is a very big concern. When we surveyed some of our industries, they are using old motors. And old motors consume lots of power. If you shift to energy efficient motors, your consumption goes down, your expenditure on the OPEX goes down in the factories, and you will be contributing in a different way. So the DSM program, the demand side management program, becomes a must. And the way we handle this part of the journey also becomes a must. But when I look at awareness within our customers, within our people in Odisha, the awareness levels are much less. What did our country do? Almost a decade back, we introduced LED lights. A lot of LED lights are there, people are familiar with it and they are using it also. That's the first step. The second step, as I shared, is on energy efficient equipment. The third step is, after we buy air conditioners, can we use them at 26 degrees? I'm not even saying 24 because I know 26 is still comfortable. So in the offices, in our house, when we switch on the ACs, then we still keep it at 26 degrees. And that's an important aspect which we slowly, as we experience, as we